Austin here from Structure Gaming, and today I'm here to tell you all about Rogue Legacy. Rogue Legacy is an RPG platformer from Cellar Door Games, and while the game has been out for some time, it has just recently been released on console and handheld for PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation Vita. The game is basic in principle but complex in nature for hours of entertainment. You are given one of 3 randomly generated characters, each with their own unique abilities, secondary weapons, and hereditary traits, and it's up to you, the player, to traverse a randomly generated castle over and over again. You are given your own castle to invest gold in, and will allow you to unlock new classes and build your general stats. Outside of the castle is a blacksmith, an enchantress, and an architect that you can purchase weapons, armor, runes, or the ability to lock the castle in the same layout as your previous playthrough at the cost of 40% of your gold. Every time you enter the castle, you are forced to give up all remaining gold to the gatekeeper. Conservation is not key, and gold should be spent before entering the castle. In the beginning of the game, you're going to die. In fact, you're going to die a lot. But in no time, your lives are going to last longer as you make your way through the castle. The game, however easier it becomes with time, is designed to kill you without mercy. Even when you become stronger, each life is typically between 5 and 15 minutes long. Each time you die, the player grows stronger and smarter with each death. The game does a good job at making you feel that you're stronger than you actually think you are, and quickly puts you back in your place when you go too far. Farming gold and finding chests are the most important goals when you enter the castle. The castle has 4 different areas: the main castle area, the forest, the tower, and the underground. Each of these areas increasing the difficulty and the levels of the enemies that you face. In each of these areas there is a boss that you must defeat, and once all 4 have been beaten, the door to the last area is unlocked. Each of these bosses are very difficult and pose a new challenge for players. Players will be making multiple attempts to defeat these bosses. Luck certainly comes into play when it comes to getting into a good run and going through the castle. Sometimes you're given 3 characters that are great, and sometimes you're given 3 that might spell certain and swift death. There are a number of traits that your character can have, and some of them can make progressing through the castle a complete nightmare. Things like vertigo, which flip the entire castle upside down and forces the players to reverse up and down in their head. Colorblind, which removes all color from the game and forces you to play in black and white, making it more difficult to spot incoming attacks. However, not all of them are bad, and the game has some traits that help you out too. OCD, which gives you MP for breaking furniture. ADHD, which makes your character move faster. Or PAD, peripheral arterial disease, which doesn't trigger spike traps when stepped on. Later on, the game gives you the ability to re-roll your characters through a perk that you can purchase. However, if you choose to re-roll these characters, you may end up with 3 worse characters than the ones you got rid of, so choose wisely. Rogue Legacy is a game that's not very story-driven. What little story we get in a small glimpse at the very beginning of the game, and the rest of the story gets told through journals that are randomly found throughout the game. These journals tell a story of a man who was first born to the king and stripped his heir to the throne. The king has become ill, and in order to gain back his heir, he travels to the castle in search of a cure for his father. As you read through the journals, he describes the trials ahead of you with a shocking twist at the end of the journals that wrap up the story. Outside of that, there really isn't much for Rogue Legacy in terms of story, and players will be there more for the game and the fun of the grind. With randomly created dungeons, stat building, character grinding, and hours upon hours of progressing through the castle, Rogue Legacy is a great game. The game is basic but addictive and will keep players coming back for more and wanting to get in one more character each time. With this short drop in and drop out, players can enjoy a short run or spend hours trying to build their character to withstand the castle. Rogue Legacy clocks in at about 15-20 hours and supports a New Game Plus. With this summer's dry spell that we're seeing from games, this is a great addition to the Sony lineup. I give this game an 8 out of 10. For all things news, gaming, reviews, and everything else nerdy, stay tuned to Structure Gaming, where gaming lives.